Welcome to the Streaming Sports 2017 Football Coaches Preview Show. Today we feature Coach Zak Bigelow from the Fossil Ridge SaberCats. Welcome to our show today. We got David Haase here, my partner, and we're going to talk a little Fossil Ridge football.
Let's go back, Coach, and talk about your first year last year at the SaberCat head coach, and you had a special group of seniors. You had a great season. Let's do a little quick recap.
Yeah, last year was great. A bit of a whirlwind. My son was born on May 18th. I drove from Oregon to Fort Collins, Colorado on May 28th, met the kids for the first time on June 1st. So it was a whirlwind, but you know, everybody I tell, those kids went through so much and had so much adversity. And this new person shows up and tells you that they're going to be your leader 2 months before the season kicks off. And they never flinched. The kids bought in and were in it from the very beginning. And I think that kind of reflected in what they accomplished. We went 7-3 last year, set a 5A school record for wins, won the city championship for the first time. Had a disgruntled RPI, missed the playoffs by just a little bit, but I'm extremely proud of what they accomplished last year. You know, just the wins and setting records, that speaks for itself, but when you really look into the situation and what the kids could have chosen to do and not to do and what they overcame, I'm extremely proud of that group. And my first year as a head coach, I think they're a group I'll remember for forever, from buying in and what they went through and what we accomplished together.
Well, Coach, let's talk about what got you to Fossil Ridge. Let's back up that journey and take you back to college, your playing days, and that gap up to where you are currently.
Yeah, so good Lord blessed me with an athletic scholarship to the University of Northern Colorado. Would love to tell you I played quarterback or linebacker, but I was made fat, slow, and weak, so I was the place kicker. But played there, started my redshirt freshman year, and just part of my story was Conference Player of the Week on Saturday. And then on Monday, I had doctors telling me I'd never play football again from an injury. So, you know, that's part of that living the hard and the adversity that I'm trying to teach these kids. It hit me really hard. Didn't listen to doctors. As a smart 19-year-old, continued to play. And it was just never the same. Was forced to have a second back injury with eligibility still on the table. So that started my career as a student coach. Very quickly found out that it is more rewarding to help someone achieve a goal than to do it yourself. So I was hooked. Coaching for life, I'm in. Was a graduate assistant at the University of Northern Colorado, continued it on to the University of Tulsa, came back to the University of Northern Colorado, and then spent 1 year at Oregon State University before the district athletic director at Poudre School Districts gave me a call and told him there was an opportunity at Fossil Ridge High School that he thought made sense for me, and I thank him for making that call, because this is a dream job to me. I'm not going back to college. I'm not going somewhere else. I'm here to coach high school football at Fossil Ridge, and excited to see how we can shape young lives and run a football program.
Let's talk a little bit about 2017, your offensive team, and kind of where you're at, key players, different things like that.
Yeah, exciting. We lost a lot of talented seniors last year, but we've got a bunch of young talent that I'm really excited about. Bring back a kid that I thought should have been an all-state wide receiver, and Donovan Murphy scored 10 touchdowns and actually led our conference, which has a Division I CU commit in it, in receiving yards. And then a bunch of great talent and tools around him. Going to have a little bit of a quarterback battle, and a guy that played last year, Tanner Hoke, and a kid that started for our freshman team, Sean Mosser, that are going to battle it out to see who's going to get the snaps. Going to rotate in a lot of great athletes at running back. We graduated our running back from last year, but some kids that showed up a lot on defense last year, Dylan Johnston and Casey Knutson, two of our best athletes in the program. So to me, you get your best athletes to the ball. So we're going to try them out at running back this year. What I'm really excited about is our wide receiving core. Last year we only had really Donovan and then a bunch of really great tight ends, but at wide receiver we were really missing some depth. But we had a bunch of freshmen develop really well into sophomores that are going to play. Junior Jimmy Carson that stepped up. So now we feel like we went from last year it was a weakness to we have a stable of guys at wide receiver that we can get the ball in their hands, get them in space to make some plays, keep them fresh. So I'm excited what they can do. And then Zach Heckman. He was our starting left tackle last year as a sophomore. This is the kid that you'd want your daughter to marry. He's a 4.0 kid. He works his ever-living tail off. He's a basketball player too. You know, he wants to go to the Air Force one day, and I know he can do it. He destroyed the weight room, put on about 40 pounds this offseason.
Wow. And
so he's going to anchor our offensive line, and real quickly people are going to know who he is, because I think he's going to develop into one of the top offensive linemen in the city.
Let's go to the other side of the ball then. On your defense, graduating seniors and valuable guys, Nick Edridge and Brady Russell, these kids that were 2 and 3 year players. That's a hole. How are you going to fill it?
Yeah, so we lost our 2 team captains that are now playing at CU, and my top safety and my top corner too, so that's a lot of tools. And we're retooling. We have a new defensive coordinator, Corey Tickner, who's a Poudre grad, my 3rd Poudre grad now on staff, is going to run the defense. He was an all-conference guy and then was helping out Coach McElwain at CSU. So he's come over to help run our defense. So it's going to be different and retooled. Won't be as big as last year, but what I love about this defense is we'll be extremely athletic. We're going to roll out 5 or 6 guys that can really move and go sideline to sideline and chase and pursue the football. And so what we'll make up for, how we'll replace a lot of great strength and leadership is a bunch of really hungry, talented, fast, athletic kids who really just love to play football. They're the kind of guys you can just roll the ball out and they want to chase you down and get it back to the offense and get to the sideline. So I'm excited to see what the staff does. I know when you have that much athleticism, they're excited to be extremely creative. And so by having more athletes on that side and doing some different things, hopefully it can be a strength for us this year.
So we've had a history in this city of great kickers and special teams players, kickers and punters both. I think you got another pretty good kicker. Yeah,
it's awesome. I don't know. I might have had the 2 best kickers in the state last year, which is a shame for Donovan because he had to back up Evan last year, who hit 350-yarders and was an all-state kid. So it's tough to be the backup to him, but it's nice when something you don't have to worry about is how you're going to kick the ball and punt the ball. And Donovan Murphy, just talked about him as a potential all-state wide receiver. The speed he brings into his leg he's got a huge leg, and it's a craft he takes very seriously. He works very hard at. And so, when you don't have to replace an all-state kid and you think you got another one in the wings, you're feeling pretty lucky. So,
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Let's talk a little bit about the broader picture of the conference and different things. We've talked to some of the other coaches, the realignment. You haven't been around for 15 years to see the good old days and stuff like that, but give us your take on some of the realignment. Some people who are probably watching this aren't really aware of what that is, but basically CHSAA came in and realigned all the conferences that made sense for them, didn't make sense for some, did for others. Talk a little bit about your feeling on that, and then tell us a little bit about who you think are the top players in your conference this year.
I think with high school athletics, club sports takes away a lot of what's great about it, and there's still something sacred about Friday nights in high school football because we don't have club sports. And so the only chance to showcase your skills and to play that game or see it is with high school football. And I think our schedule is a perfect example. Last year and this year again, we started off with Fort Collins, Rocky, and Poudre. Those were my 3 biggest crowds. It was rocking. But those are your rivalries, and you get the wayside's filled up because it's a team right across town. The home times, every kid wants to be there because there's a rivalry aspect to it. And when you take that away and realign, I think you take away some of the pageantry of it, and people aren't as interested in the games and who's this school. I think a lot of it, you've got to think about a 16-year-old kid. If it's not a top 10 team rolling into town or a team that they're familiar with, there's so many things you can do with your Friday night, they're going to miss out. And so when you don't have that atmosphere, it's really disappointing. And I understand it. You're trying to find the perfect system and make sense of it all, and that's not my job. So, and I'm glad for it, but I know that I'm against it. I think of my own high school experience, and if I would have gotten missing out, I went to Dakota Ridge and Littleton, missed out on playing Columbines and Chatfields, who were stone throws away from my high school, or it just wouldn't mean the same to me. So I know that there's a way to fix it, and they'll find it. And there's a lot of other things too. That's just my heart about where I'd like to get it fixed. But when you think about ticket gates going down and travel times, like Poudre High School having to play a 4 o'clock game in Colorado Springs, it's a conference game. It's just difficult to justify for what they're trying to fix. So I hope to see it back. I'd love to play. I'll do whatever it takes to play Fort Collins, Poudre, and Rocky every year because it's important to our program. But I'd love to do it in November and October, when your programs are peaking too, right? And you've really developed, and so that games can mean the most, and at the end of the season. And then, what's tough for us is, non-conference, every game's important, but you'd like to have a chance to grow and get some young guys some playing time and tune up. And we roll out the ball on day 1 playing Fort Collins, and there's a trophy on the line. And so, it definitely ups the intensity right out of the gate and makes you be crisp. And so it's different, and I'd love to see it go back to the old system, but like I said, that's not my job, so I'll just keep playing who they put on the schedule.
And where do you see the conference this year? You've got a tough conference, just like everybody else is. You got Cherry Creek coming. I know we've got that. It's a big broadcast this year coming here. So talk a little bit about your conference and who you see as the front runners.
Yeah, absolutely. So we play Cherry Creek. That's our first conference game. And I won't shy away from it. That's a program and a head coach that I'm trying to emulate and be a lot like. They have it figured out, and Coach Logan is a staple of Colorado high school football. And then they'll always be a powerhouse, but what a great opportunity for us. You'd try to play a game like that at non-conference even if you couldn't. And so we welcome the opportunity to measure up and see how we can be against the top in the state. And then from there, it doesn't get a lot easier. Denver East runs a really strong program. We lost one to them, our only home loss last year. Horizon is a really tough-nosed, battle-grinded, battle-tested program.
Every year they come up 2 or 3 times, and they just wear you out.
No question, yeah. If you win that game, you've got to really show your heart and show some grit and determination, because they will every single time. Coach Lindsay just took over Far Northeast in Montbello, so he'll turn that program around quickly, and they'll do a great job. And the Prairie View program, I think some people overlook them just because of the other bigger names in our program, but that's a staff that does things the right way, cares about their kids, and is building something themselves. So there's not a conference game that doesn't keep me up at night.
Well, one of those things that as you're an educator while you're a coach too, you get the chance to work with kids and develop these kids as not only just football players but as young men. And how do you think you're going to incorporate those things into your program?
That's why I'm here personally, and that's why I'm excited about the new staff that we have, is a bunch of guys that really care about being around young people and having a positive impact in our program. Our program motto is live in the hard, and that's from personal experience. I was very blessed, had a lot of opportunities growing up. Wouldn't say I came from a tough background. So even then, you would think I'd be set up for success. And the adversity in life that I hit, it's real, and it's hard. And if you want to be great in football or in life or as a husband or as a father, what I challenge these kids is you'll have to live in the hard. Nothing you'll do moving past this will be easy. And what a great platform to do that. In football, if you want to be successful, you have to live in the hard. You have to challenge yourself all off season long in the weight room and running. Every game it's a physical, tough matchup that won't be easy. It will be difficult. And so I use this platform to teach kids that adversity is coming. I don't shy away from it. I tell all my quarterbacks you're going to throw an interception. I tell my running backs you will fumble the football. But prepare yourself for that. Be ready for it. And I'm using this platform to tell kids, hey, when you think that sprint is hard, guess what? You're going to have tough times at your job that you're going to have to handle. You're going to have family issues that come up unexpectedly. How are you going to handle those things? College is going to be difficult. Getting your first job is going to be difficult. Your marriage is going to be difficult. Being a father is going to be difficult. So that when those tough moments do come, they don't blink. They keep moving forward. They scratch, claw, fight to just always be moving towards a positive direction. And I think the kids get sick of me seeing it. I put it on the hoodies. I put it on the shirts. I put it on the jerseys. Wherever I can put it, I want these kids to learn and leave the program knowing if I'm going to be successful in life, I'm going to have to live in the hard. And that's okay. I'm ready for that challenge. And so, that's why I'm here, to deliver that message and use the platform of football to help these kids understand that. And I look forward to my first player bringing back his son to meet me and going to my first player wedding and watching these kids grow up and hopefully knowing that we had an impact on them through the platform of football that made them better husbands, fathers, and community leaders.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So thank you very much, Coach Bigelow. We appreciate
absolutely.
your time coming in here. And again, we do all the home games at French Field on Stream It Sports, so we look forward to watching Fossil Ridge this year and where they end up. So for David Haase, Coach Zak Bigelow, this is Randy McCoy, and we will see you next time.